Welcome back everyone to an amazing video. So you are new to the Australian stock market and you just do not know how to purchase stocks. In this video I'm going to teach you how to buy and sell shares using your Comsec app in a very simple way. First we're going to go through the user interface and then I'm going to tell you how to buy and sell shares. Alright, and now if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. I'll make sure to answer them. Alright, so without further ado, let's jump into the video. Alright, so beginning is just like this. Any other app, you need a password and a username. So username is going to be your client ID that the banks give you. Do not share with anyone. And just pick a password that you like, and then of course if you're using Apple you can log in with your Face ID. So I'm gonna go through the app interface first before we get into buying and selling. Everything is fairly simple. I'm just gonna make it really easy to follow. So you got 5 tabs underneath: portfolio, watch, newsfeed, markets, and more. If you click portfolio tab, of course you're gonna come up with this section. It's gonna say shares, and then there's another shares column, and then CDIA, and then international shares. So in the first shares column, it's gonna show up with your local shares that you own, the overview, the total market value, total profits and loss, and today's change. And in the second column, it's supposed to be international shares. I do not have any international shares at the moment, but if I do, it's gonna show up over there. CDIA is the bank account that you use to buy and sell stocks. It's where you put the money in, and then Comsec app will reduce money if you're buying, and if you're selling your stocks, that's the bank account that your money is going to show up in. You can access the CDIA bank account in your CommBank app. It's a separate account. You can connect it with your normal accounts and you can transfer money. When you're buying stocks, make sure to have the money in the CDIA account immediately. The money won't get deducted from the CDIA account immediately, but they will take it after 2 days. But when they do, make sure you have the money, otherwise they're gonna charge a fine from you. Of course, international shares column is the last one. If you click it, they're gonna take you to the website and show you international shares. If you click your shares column, it's gonna take you to this profile called holdings. In there you're gonna find all the stocks that you own, and they're gonna show you all the details like available units, purchase price, last price, market value, profit loss in dollars, profit loss in percentages, today's change, today's value in dollars, and then of course weight of the portfolio. As you can see, I only own 2 shares at the moment. I had about 5-6 before, but I traded them off, and now I'm only doing these 2 shares. Alright, if you go to your watch list, this is where you can add any stock that you want to watch closely. For example, let's say there's a company that you like, you want to buy it, but you're not sure about it, so you just want to watch it closely till it gives you an opportunity to buy. So this is how you add a stock to the watch list. You see these 3 dots in the right side upper corner. You click that and then it gives you a couple of options. So if you want to add stocks, you go to add stocks, and then you search the company that you want to buy. So I'll just put a bunch over here. Fortescue, Qantas, Wisec, etc. Now that you have added the stocks that you want to keep an eye on, of course, if you click the 3 dots again, you could create a couple of watch lists. For example, if you want to watch 2 sectors, for example health and IT, stocks in these sectors, you can create 2 watch lists and put your stocks into these watch lists. You can rename it. For example, I'll just put my favorites. Alright, and then you could of course remove stocks as well. If you click that, you could just click the minus icon and then press delete. Done. And then of course you can delete the entire watch list as well. So you can press delete and boom, it's gone. Of course, the next tab is called the newsfeed tab. Every stock that you own and every stock that is in your watch list is gonna show up here. So if you click these three lines in the upper right corner, you'll see all the details that it's gonna show you. So if you click all news and press done, it's gonna show up market announcements, recommendation changes, technical analysis, upcoming dividends, CommSec videos. All of these details regarding the stocks that's in your watch list and you own is gonna show up in here. The next tab is the markets tab. If you go to that tab, it's gonna show you, the first column is chart. It's gonna show the daily movement of the market. If you click ASX, and if you click international shares, it's gonna show up international markets, how they behaved in that day. The second column is called indices. Of course, it's the same thing. You can get an idea of how prominent world markets behaved that day. And if you click market movers, it's gonna show you up with large cap, mid cap and small cap. Like large cap is stocks with above, I think 10 billion or something. I'm not sure about that, but yeah, so large cap is like the largest companies in the stock market. And you can see advanced as well, like what kind of mid cap stocks advanced during that day, what kind of small cap stocks advanced during that day, and decliners is the same thing, exactly the opposite. What kind of companies went down that day. So you can just have a look. And of course there's a commodities column as well. It's going to show you how commodities behaved in that given day. You got currencies. It's going to show you how currencies behaved in the day. And then of course upcoming dividends. It's going to show you what kind of companies are distributing their dividends in the coming days. And if you click the more tab, which is the last one, you're going to get an interface like this. If you press get a quote, again, that option is for you to go to a company's profile. This section over here is called a company profile. I'll get to it in a minute. So you can go to a company, you can search a company through a get quote option, and then if you select trade, it's gonna allow you to buy and sell. I'll get to it in a moment as well. The orders option over here, if you do a buy order or a sell order, it's gonna show up in here. So if it's outstanding, meaning that if it's not executed, it's gonna show up in the outstanding row. If you select executed, it's gonna show up in your executed row. If it's cancelled somehow, it's gonna show up in cancelled row. I currently don't have any orders set up, so that's why it's empty. But if you do, it's gonna show up over here. Alerts, if you wanna set up an alert about a company that you like, that you're hoping to buy, or you already bought, this is where you do it. You could click the plus button in the top upper corner, and then you can just search your company and add it. And if you go to alert type, it's gonna give you a bunch of options that you can select in which category that you need the alert on. So if you want about dividends, you can just select that, and then number of days, you could just say how many days before you want to know whether it's gonna go ex dividends. So you just put 1 day before. And delivery method, either email or push notification. You can do both, but I'm not gonna do it. And then you can press save at the moment, then you can press save at last, and then it's gonna send you alerts. You got international themes, international, and then settings, service center, etc. Make sure you click all of them. They're not that important. Settings section is where you enable your face pin and etc. If you click all these things like international investment, it's going to take you to CommSec website. Okay, so now let's get into the buy and selling part of the video. Now there are a couple of ways you can do it. You could either go to the trade option and put the code or the type of course buy and then put the code, but I prefer going to a company's profile and then going with the buy order. So you can just easily do that over here, get a code, type the company that you want to buy. I'll do FMG. Okay, so this is the company's profile. In here you're gonna see a bunch of details as well, which are important. So in depth section it says how many buyers are there and how many sellers are there. All right, and in course of sales it's going to show you what kind of sales that went out during that day. And then you got two charts here, a normal line chart and a volume chart, which is actually kind of important to get you a good look about where the stock is heading. And of course you got details of the stock, and then there's a dividend section. As you can see, for this Q, dividend yield was 14.70 last year, and it's got all the details like ex-dividend date, pay date, etc. Last but not least, you have news and announcements. This is where the company puts all of their news like financial reports, dividend reports, directors notes and everything. Right, you can make sure you read everything that are important. You don't have to read everything, but you get what I'm saying, right? Like financial statements would come out every quarter, and make sure you read them. And then you have this recommendations tab over here as well. I do not take this seriously. It's just like hedge funds giving their recommendations. They change all the time, but of course rely on your research more than what they're saying. Okay, so now you want to buy it. Now you're in the profile, so you click the buy tab, the green one, and then it gives you this page. I'll go through each and every single function and then I'll tell you how to buy it. So of course you go for a buy order, and when you do that, it's gonna give you these details: last price, today's change, bid volume, bid price, offer price, and offer volume. All right, then this other option is purchase by quantity or value. So if you quantity means that, let's say you want to buy 200 shares. All right, so that's the quantity, how many shares. Whereas value is how much. All right, so let's say you want to buy $5,000 worth of shares. So if you go with quantity, let's just do an example: 200 shares, price, and then you got two options for the price: limit and market. Limit, if you want to do a buy order, you always go for limit. For example, you want to buy it when Fortescue comes down to 18 cents. Hold on, sorry, $18.50, right? And then the expiry is where, okay, so how long do you want this order to last? So if you go with good till expiry, whenever the stock reaches $18.50, it's gonna stay on. The order will stay on. It won't get executed until it reaches 18.5. But if it doesn't, the order will still be there. But if you go with good for day, it means that it doesn't matter whether the price comes down to that level or not. The order will only last for 24 hours. All right, so depending on your taste, depending on what you want to do, you can just select either thing, it doesn't matter, and then click review order. So when you do a review order, it's gonna give you a screen like this with all the details. Make sure you keep an eye on brokerage costs as well. That's kind of important. The more you buy, the more they're gonna charge. The more you sell, the more they'll charge. And then once every detail is done, you're gonna press submit order, and then your shares will appear in your portfolio section in a couple of seconds. I'm not gonna do anything because I don't want to buy shares at the moment, but it's very simple. Let's go back again. Now let's say you want to buy with the value. Let's say you want to buy shares worth of $5,000. All right, and then you got limit price, and then it's gonna tell you exactly how many units is that for that price. So it's 207 units, as you can see. Again, expiry section is the same, review order, the same column is gonna give you the same information. You can submit your order. Now what if you want to buy shares on the market price, like that instance, like you need to buy shares quickly, you don't have time to wait your share prices fall to a certain limit, you want to buy it on the market on the spot. Well, you go to quantity option, you put the shares that you want to buy, let's say 300, and then in the price section you go for the market option. So the market options allows you to buy shares on the spot at the price that the market is currently showing. So if you just go to, you know, the expiry, put it as good for day, you don't want it to last for a longer period of time, and then review order, again it's going to give you the same information, and then all you have to do is press submit and it's going to execute the order. Now that's it for buying. And one last thing, when you buy, they're going to send you an email saying that you bought, and this is your receipt. You know, for everything you're gonna get a receipt in your life. Make sure to always ask for receipt. So this is how that email looks like. It's gonna show up all the detail, and if you scroll down, this is the receipt that you're gonna get from them, and it's gonna say buy in the top right corner. Okay, so now let's get into the sell portion. Again, the same thing, search the company, go to their profile. With selling, here's the thing, you can't sell what you don't own. They don't allow short selling for most investors in Australia, so you can't do that in the app. So you can only sell what you own. You go to your portfolio section, and then you're gonna go to you select the stock that you want to sell, and then select sell, and then it's gonna show you how many units you have available to sell. All right, now same procedure. There are a few couple of things that I want to let you guys know that are going to be different. All right, so sell by, again, the quantity, let's say you want to sell 100 shares. If you want to sell by value, you can say you want to share $2,000 worth of shares. All right, let's just do quantity. Let's put 200 shares. And of course, if you want to be a sell order, you don't want to sell it at the moment or at the current market condition. You want it to be sold at a certain price. For example, let's say you want it to be sold at $19.50. So whenever the stock price is $19.50, this will get executed if you select good till expiry option. Good for day, it doesn't matter what happens, the order will get cancelled within a day, or if it will get executed if the share price goes to 19.5. right? The only thing that's different in the sell section is the settlement. So what is settlement? So settlement is if you get your access to your stocks using a brokerage, you always go with CHESS. If it's an issuer, it's a different thing. Issuer is your company has their own share registry, right? So if you're buying through their own share registry or selling through their own share registry, then that's when you click issuer. But since you're using the Comsec app, always go with the CHESS option and then proceed. So if you click review order, of course it's gonna give you the same details as the buy order, and then submit. It'll get sold in that, because we're putting an order, it'll only get executed at 19.5. all right, so if you want to do a market sell off, like for example, if you want to do it at the market price, the same amount of quantity, but you don't have time to wait, you want to sell it on the spot right now, right here. In that case, you select market, and then for expiry you go good for day, and then settlement, again CHESS, review order, and submit. It'll get executed right away. And when you sell shares, just like buying, you're gonna get an email as well to confirm that you sold shares. This might take some time if the market is busy, depending on the condition and everything, but you will get this receipt, and if you don't within 24 hours, make sure you contact Comsec and ask for a receipt. You won't get a receipt. Remember, if you do a buy order, until the buy order is executed, you will not get a receipt. All right, but if you sell it at the market price, you should be getting a receipt really soon. If you scroll down again, it's the same thing. It's gonna say sell instead of buy in the top right corner. And thank you so much for watching in. I hope you guys learned something, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please put a comment below if you have questions. I'll make sure to answer them, and I'll see you guys in another video. Until then, have a nice day.